How you doing? I'm Governor Tony Soprano. You're listening to John Santos, the radio, on Scrog Island Radio. Here's your host, John Santo.
Hello, everybody. This is John Santo. Welcome to the radio. And we have a contingency to keep the show going even during these times. We're doing the show remotely. But we figured you guys got tired of watching all the news on TV, so we had to keep this show going. And I want to introduce, I'm very lucky to have him, my special guest co-host. Please welcome to the radio,
Joe Pontillo.
Joe Pontillo is here. How's it going, Joe?
Sorry, I didn't mean to be that excited.
No, it's it's great to have you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And
thanks for coming on.
Had the Sopranos lasted a few more seasons, I think Tony would have actually become the governor of New Jersey. It seemed like where that was trending.
I think so too. I think he was a successful business person, and we all see what happened in the real world. So you can, like Schwarzenegger, and you can become a governor. So,
yeah, he already had some government contacts, so he pretty much had a door in.
Yeah. In my act, I do him as the president. I do a bit about, what if he was the president faced with an international crisis.
Well, we're pretty close to that right now anyway.
Pretty close. I figured, at these times I'll have him be the governor. Like, it'll be like a different Andrew Cuomo press conference. It would be more like, a little more New Jersey. He's on like every day now, Cuomo.
I know, and it's kind of terrible because he can put like two sentences together. People think he's great, and I'm like, please just do a few minutes of research about this guy.
You never see the other people that are on that panel. They never talk. Like,
yeah, they're not allowed.
Why are they there? He should send them home.
I don't know. That's why you got to get a job in like government or public works, because they literally just pay you just to stand near somebody important most of the time.
They just stand there. Like, I hate when they have all the politicians behind the politician. Like, there's like whatever, like Bloomberg used to have these like press conferences. I want to thank the chief of police, the commissioner of the fire department, the dog catcher, the head of the farm. Like, you'd have like 20 people back there. Like, what? Well, don't these people have jobs to do?
Right, and then like 10 feet away from them, you have the sign language interpreter who has become this real big like performance piece now and everything. Like, they know they're on camera, so they're like, "Oh, this is my moment," and they just I feel like they almost turn it into a dance. It's very distracting.
Right. they when during the hurricane, that's when I did the Bloomberg in Spanish. That's how I got that bit for my act. And I really don't do much. I just basically do him speaking Spanish with his accent, which is comedy that wrote itself.
Right. Well, it was good that he was relevant again for like 2 weeks until he realized his campaign was a waste of time. So
yeah, I lucked out there because all of a sudden now my Bloomberg is kind of relevant again.
Yes, in so many ways.
And then they took it from me. It's like it's back now. It's not back. But they don't put Giuliani on enough. I was getting more mileage out of usually after the person's out of office, the impression isn't as useful. But now, they got to bring Giuliani back.
Right, it's like all the old classics are coming back.
The classics, right? I get to do the list. I get to
Giuliani, OJ. I don't know.
If you see something suspicious, call the police. I used to love doing that, Giuliani.
He used to be so normal seeming.
Yeah, he was normal for a while, and then everybody's going crazy. I think those jobs really drive people nuts.
Eventually, yeah.
But like Cuomo, he just keeps, like, he has all these like analogies, like, if you don't stop going out, and when you do go out, you could give the virus to somebody that didn't have the virus. No shit, like I get it, Andrew.
It's funny because Cuomo kind of looks like a guy who just spends his time developing viruses in his like basement laboratory or something.
But he's just like so repetitive. Like, and it takes him forever to finish the sentence. It's like, when you go out, we don't want you mingling.
Yeah, he's just mad he can't rename the virus after one of his family members.
I cannot stand that bridge. It's the Tappan Zee Bridge. You should never rename anything. Like that's
not just that. All the bridges in New York City that they've renamed are terrible. And like, I like Ed. I mean, I was a kid, but Ed Koch. He shouldn't get a bridge. Give him a park.
A park, right? Yeah, I'm okay with a park. Like, 'cause you have to go to a park, but like the bridge, like the Triborough Bridge says what it is. It connects 3 boroughs, and Bobby Kennedy. You know that the Kennedy brothers have more things named for them in New York than they do in Massachusetts, where they were from. You know,
Massachusetts, because Massachusetts is sick of the Kennedys.
Yeah, well, they got JFK Airport. Why wasn't Logan Airport named JFK in Boston? That should have been JFK. And the Triborough Bridge. Why didn't they give Bobby Kennedy a bridge in Massachusetts? I mean, well, actually, you don't want to name it the Ted Kennedy Bridge, obviously, but the Bobby Kennedy Bridge. I don't know.
It's like, it's like Shea Stadium. Now it's City. Now it's City. Not the same ballpark, but it's like New York used to have all these like very basic and charming names.
Yeah.
And then they just everything that's corporate and sponsored by and named after people who have really nothing to do with New York, most of them.
Yep. I know, it's crazy. Did you know how LaGuardia got its name?
Isn't it named after Fiorello LaGuardia, the mayor?
Fiorello LaGuardia, but it used to be called North Beach Field. And LaGuardia was mad that his ticket, he flew into Newark, and he told the pilot, no. My ticket says New York. Now, he would have probably flipped over the stadium, in New Jersey for the Jets and the Giants, but the Skytypers went over it when they were dedicating the airport, the new LaGuardia. It wasn't LaGuardia, it's called North Beach Field, and they said, call it LaGuardia, and they renamed it LaGuardia.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's how. I'm a big aviation history buff, so that's how LaGuardia got its name.
Right. Well, JFK used to be Idlewild, right?
Idlewild, and then New York International Airport briefly, but the control tower still was Idlewild.
Was that before or after the Lufthansa heist? How do you say that?
Well, when was Lufthansa? The 70s?
Sometime in the mid-70s.
Yeah, so it would have already been renamed JFK, because I think, like, after 60... Yeah, they even named Cape Canaveral Cape Kennedy, then they changed it back. My father was saying they went on a Kennedy naming spree after he got killed.
It's all the Italians. Italians loved him. He wasn't even Italian. Never understood that. Oh, it's because he was Catholic. That's why. They were like, finally, a Catholic.
Probably, yeah. That's probably why they got it.
It's like the only president I trusted, and they killed him.
You're a rip. How you? I know you. Obviously, nobody has any shows going on. How you holding up without the shows?
It's weird. It's like on the one hand, it's like I don't really need to perform, but on the other hand, it's just like, what is life going to be like after this? That's kind of where I am. But that's a good point. Like, are we always gonna, when we step out onto that stage and I always am paranoid about touching the mic. If somebody has a cold who's like 3 comics before me, I'm like, shit, I don't want to follow that guy. Why are you coming to the comedy club sick? Yeah, but it's and I made this joke on like Facebook or Twitter or something, but I was like, being in the like New York City comedy scene is already like just basically associating with like walking diseases to begin with. So I feel like to an extent, a lot of us have probably built up immunity.
I think so. Yeah, I think. You know what? I don't understand. Like, I went to an open mic one time. It was an unpaid open mic, 5 minutes. And this guy was like, had the flu. I'm like, you just exposed half the comedians on Long Island that have shows that they get paid for to the flu.
Right.
Like, you could literally take down the entire comedy industry, and like, you can wait till next week when you're healthy to do your 5 minutes about whatever you were going to talk about. That didn't make any sense. I walked out of it. I got the hell out of there. I didn't want to get sick, Like, you had the freaking flu. Crazy. Some comedians are crazy.
Yeah, and by some you mean most. But.
Well, yeah, I like to say some. This way it's a little more polite, but most.
Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable with all these, like, virtual comedy shows popping up. And virtual open mics.
I guess, I guess people want I did one that I didn't even think was that great. I was kind of, like, disorganized and disjointed, and all my friends were like, oh, thanks, I really needed that laugh. I laughed very hard. So I think comedians may not find it as funny, although I saw Joey Colas the other night, I was dying. But Joey Colas, the best, he's like the best. But we're more critical, I think, of it than the audience. The audience sometimes they really enjoy it, even though we might think it's kind of like it's not that great. But they love it. So if they do it, if they like it, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's why I like when I tape myself perform, because a lot of times they'll be like, that felt like it wasn't that good, and then I'll watch the tape and be like, oh, that was really good. What's wrong with me? Then, of course, there's always those times when you think you did pretty well, and then an audience member comes up to you after the show and goes, tough crowd tonight, huh? You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and I think we're also very hard on ourselves, too, and we don't like any... So I did a show one time where I did, I don't remember the exact number, there was like X number of people there, and I did like 10 impressions, 12 impressions, and she said, I loved all your impressions, but your Obama's terrible. I'm like, everybody loves my Obama, but I was like, okay. So, but she liked the other 9 or 10 that I did or whatever, so I'm like, that's like a 99.9% success rate. And I'm like, geez, and I'm harping on it the whole way home. Why didn't you like my Obama? I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
One impression out of 200, and it's only one impression out of 10 that you didn't like. That's a pretty good rate.
Yeah, that's what happens. You always think about that one person or the one joke that maybe didn't hit as well as the other ones, and it's hard. You just focus on the one negative thing.
I was driving home with a comedian one time, and he's like, damn it, he goes, I forgot to tell that joke. And I'm like, you destroyed the room. They're not going to realize you forgot that. I forget jokes, so I hate that. One time I was driving home from the show, I'm like, son of a bitch, I forgot my new joke. I didn't tell my new one.
Yeah, I'll write things on my hand, like new things or like things I really want to do. Not even that I ever really look at it, but it's like, it's in my head.
Yep.
So, I'll go up and even if I kill it and I look at my hand afterwards, I'm like, I didn't do any of the things I wrote down.
That's funny. When I first started, I had my friend sit in the front row, and I said, if I don't do that joke by the time I get to this joke, remind me. And he would just, like, mouth it, like, he would, like, wave his hand, like, quickly, and I'd look down at him, and because he was, like, right up against the stage, so I really had to look, the angle was really looking down at him, and he was like, do the Scooby-Doo joke, or whatever, and then I remember to do the Scooby-Doo joke.
Well, they could have messed with you and said the wrong joke.
You have to have a lot of trust in that person.
Yeah. Do the joke about penguins. What?
What penguins? That would have screwed me up completely. I would have been like, what? Penguins? That's funny. But we do have a couple of celebrities that are going to probably join us on the show, Joe. I don't know if I told you.
Well, that's really the only reason I decided to do the show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I got if he can spare time in between briefings, President Trump might join.
Well, it's good that he made some time in his busy schedule.
He's got it's very tough to get him, especially now with the corona. We got Governor Tony Soprano is going to call in from that alternate. We have an alternate universe, Joe, that we made contact with, where people that are in TV and movies can actually come into real life. So it's the my producer Bobby said it's the same but different. So it's a similar universe. Are you a Star Trek fan? Have you ever seen that alternate universe?
Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I watch more of the movies than the TV shows, but...
Remember the one when Spock had a beard?
Vaguely, yeah. Wasn't it just one of William Shatner's wigs that, like, became sentient?
Yeah. It was like they called it the Terran alternate universe. They did it in I watched that Star Trek Discovery on CBS. It's fantastic. And I'm finally up to date with that program, and they're going to come out, I guess, with the third season soon. Who else we got? We got Dr. Vinny Boombots. Roddy Dangerfield's Dr. Vinny Boombots can talk about, and Mike Francesa. How's that?
I'm glad he's still getting work.
He won't retire.
I think Mike Francesa is like a week away from having a direct line to the White House.
He should cover the coronavirus. It's like,
he's been tweeting about it.
Has he? What has he said? Tell me what he said. I haven't seen it.
Oh, he tweeted something the other day. He's like, Mr. President, April 6th, everyone goes back to work, including sports. Make it happen! I can't do his voice, unfortunately, but, you know.
First of all, we absolutely need the sports back. We need sports. We have to have sports. Can't do without sports.
I'm still working on that impression. How does it sound to you?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, honestly.
Joe, I had a caller that called in and said that my Mike Francesa is not my best impression. I said, you can't say that, because John Santo himself has admitted that it's okay. It's not his best voice, but he's working on it.
But can you do Francesa blowing up at a caller? That's the big question.
That is a lot harder, much harder.
And Mike, I want to make a trade proposal. Is that a little weird right now, given the situation?
Yeah, how about Brett Gardner for Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard? Are you out of here? You said that with a straight face.
For Giancarlo Stanton.
First of all, the Yankees are never going to trade. The Mets are never going to trade deGrom. They're never going to trade him. They won't. They just won't. They won't. I love the way he like says it like 3 times. You know, he should do the coronavirus briefing.
He really should. He should start live streaming his own briefings.
He should do it. He should say, "We're seeing an uptick in the number of cases, but the hope is that these new drugs, and they're very good drugs. I've called the doctors. The doctors have all told me they're very good drugs. That these drugs are probably, not definitely, but probably going to be successful."
And then he'll have no one like standing behind him, and then he'll just take calls for the rest of the hour.
Now, some of these drugs are going to be the New York Knicks. They're not going to work out. They're going to be total disaster. Others are going to be the New York Yankees. They're going to be very successful, but they're going to cost a lot of money. I have a lot of fun doing him because I listen to him all the time. You know, I used to listen to him.
I would just listen to him and just crack up with his meltdowns, or you know, his like weird hatred of the Jets.
Of the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah. He pissed off the Giants too, though. The Giants wouldn't talk to him for a while, I think.
It was back in like probably when Rex Ryan was the coach, where he was just like. And the Jets were doing well, but like he would like point out how like the win they just had didn't really count. It's like, right. Well, you know, you didn't have the quarterback. Oh, this team, you know, they should have beat this team, so that win doesn't count. Like he just discounted all their wins.
The other team was without their usual water boy, and let me tell you something. To a fan that doesn't, because fans don't know, but the lack of tempo and consistency when the water boys change is a very big issue.
You know this about the NFL.
Now, you know what I love is that he's never played any of these sports. He's basically like us, except he has a few contacts of media relations people. But he's lecturing us. Now, granted, if he knows the statistics, that's fine. But anybody could look up those numbers.
Yeah, he was basically a week away from becoming one of his own callers at some point.
Say that again. That's funny.
He basically was a week away from becoming one of his own callers.
But I like you know what I don't understand is like when people talk about the baseball players from like the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, like the Babe Ruth, all those guys, and they're like, there'll never be anybody better than them. Why? How could they not? I understand they may not have been yet, but it's possible. I mean, it's definitely possible that somebody's going to be better.
Oh, certainly. And who's to say those players were even that good? Maybe just everyone else was so bad. Has anyone considered that?
That's so right. It's like you could be the valedictorian at one school, and you could be a nobody at another school. It all depends on who else is in the class with you.
Exactly. Well, there's a whole contingent of people that like to say that Babe Ruth probably wouldn't be able to hit modern day pitching.
Oh, with modern pitching and everything, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there's also things like with the ball. Like I saw the whole thing with the ball last year and how it was, the grip. And I definitely looked at older baseballs that I had versus balls that I acquired last year. And the seams are definitely flatter on the newer balls than they were on the older ones.
They hired the guy that helped the Patriots that one year.
Same thing. But I can't speak to the inside of the ball. I didn't. I can only feel the outside. But they did use the Major League Baseball in the Pacific Coast League AAA games, and the home runs in April went up 67% from the prior April.
Oh wow!
So that's you got to look at that as. And you know what I don't understand is that Major League Baseball now owns Rawlings, and they have for a couple of years. So they own the company that manufactures the balls. Now, if they change, like now they say that the interior, the middle part of it is more precise than it used to be, whatever, that till that's in the middle of cork or whatever they put in there, I don't know what effect that has, but I mean, they should be, if you wind tunnel, massive bit of wind tunnel test on baseballs in perfect objects. So the flatter the seams, the more the ball is going to travel. All right, because it's more of a sphere. Less turbulent.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't realize. I guess Major League Baseball can just call up Rawlings and be like, make the balls tighter this year.
But they keep saying that they want home runs to increase or whatever. I'm like, all right, if you want more home runs, then move the fences in. What do you want to tell you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when they made Citi Field, they made it this huge ballpark. And I was like, what are you doing? And they did like top net in the first season, home run wise, in Citi Field had like 12 home runs.
Yeah, there was a lot. They kept moving the fences in. They had to keep
kept moving them in, paint them blue. It's like they forgot who they were making the stadium for.
Oh, that you just touched on an area which makes me livid. I hate I won't even have a picture of Citi Field on my house if the fence is black. There was no reason for that fence to not be blue with orange trim on top. This is not brain surgery. The team colors are blue and orange. Like, you get to that stadium, there's no blue and orange anywhere.
It was like somebody after that season showed the Wilpons a picture of Shea Stadium, and they were like, "Oh right, blue."
Blue. I hated that. It's all, even the corners. They got to make those corners blue too. What do they do? It's the only state. This is a fact. Did you know this? It's the only ballpark that has orange foul poles. All the others are yellow.
Huh. I never thought of that.
I never knew that either. I just assumed that they did. They had to do a high visibility color to distinguish the ball from the pole.
Yeah.
But, it's perfect. You got blue and orange there. It blends in. You can't ask for a better, little, show of the colors there, which is nice.
Oh yeah, it's very cool. They kind of ruined it last year because at some point, from the foul poles, they were advertising Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I hate that. Absolutely hate that.
I was like, that's how you know the message is done as an organization. They're just renting out space on the foul pools now. Although I will say, after that, they turned their season around, so maybe there was some kind of weird correlation. Probably
They did, yes. I think we got blessed. I don't know. I just think it's, first of all, it's kind of tacky, but other ballparks have done it. I don't like all that advertising along the fence and everything, because to me it's like, I used to work in media, and there was always a separation between advertising and content, and those two groups weren't really allowed to collaborate. And I almost feel like the content product or the game should be separate from the advertising, and all that everything that's on the field should be official. It shouldn't be
right.
I don't even like on the ice. I don't care because I'm not a hockey fan, but like they have all those ads on the ice, and it's like that's on the playing surface. That shouldn't be. It should just be the game.
Right. That'll happen in the NFL next.
Oh yeah, and I really can't stand it on the uniforms like they do in soccer and golf and everything. That shouldn't be. There should be a separation between ads and the game.
Yeah, I know. It's like NASCAR, but with uniforms.
Yeah, the whole car's plastered. That's the car.
Yes. Now, when sports comes back, every stadium is going to be have ads for Purell everywhere.
You're gonna have official Purell.
Thank you for coming to the game. Please wash your hands.
You know what? You know what I saw we went to spring training. We did a couple of shows down there in February, and I actually took a picture. I should have posted it, but there was a ad above the urinal for a urologist, and it said, "Is your stream a little weak? Give us a call."
Oh, good. Right now?
I guess after you wash your hands.
Right. Yeah, hey, I'm looking at it. It's kind of just dripping now, but I think I got most of it out, so maybe it has to do with that.
There was another one at City Field years ago, and it's like, having urinary problems, give us a call. Still here? Definitely give us a call. It's like, that's really
still watching this game? Please call us.
I've been saying, because I used to be in advertising, I've been saying for years, the best ad space is above a urinal in the back of the door of a stall. They have your undivided attention.
That's true. I will read everything that people write in a bathroom stall. You find out so much.
Did you ever see the movie Roadhouse?
I don't think I've ever seen it, but
I know with Patrick Swayze, Dalton.
He's just kicking people throughout the entire movie, right?
Yeah, he just beats up people, but he's nice about it. Yeah,
I've seen enough spoofs about it.
Yes, there's a lot of spoofs about it. There's a lot of like the rule number 1: don't start anything inside the bar. Be nice. There's a whole. It's a corny '80s movie. Typical '80s movie. But we do have to take a quick break. I have to read the weather, and I think I'm going to do the weather. What do you think about Morgan Freeman doing the weather?
Yes, I think that's really the voice that America needs right now.
Right, Morgan. So Morgan Freeman was in 2 movies related to our current situation. First movie, he was in Outbreak.
Yes.
Right, he was the doctor.
And the other one was Shawshank Redemption.
I didn't think about that, but that's true. These walls are funny. First you hate them, but then you get used to them.
We all kind of are in prison, and we'll probably end up working in a supermarket after this.
Brooks was here. Well, what was the other? Oh, and he was also the president in Deep Impact.
Yes.
And he froze the prices. He said, "I'm freezing all prices. When a bottle of water cost you yesterday, it'll cost you tomorrow." He was awesome.
During that brief phase where every other movie was about a meteor crashing into Earth.
Yes, and they had a year to deal with it. Yeah. That's still a fear. They made 2 movies about a meteor hitting the Earth, Armageddon and Deep Impact.
Right, another one where they went up there to blow it up, to blow up the meteor, and they left Ben Affleck on it.
That's
or was it Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, yeah. They left Bruce Willis up there. But I did like the guy who played the Air Force general was the father in Something About Mary, and he was also in Platoon. He's in a lot of movies, but I like when he said they said there were things that they couldn't track in the sky, and the other general goes, "It could be pieces of the space shuttle breaking up as it comes in," and he goes, "Yeah, and it could be Santa Claus. Until we get independent alternate confirmation, we go to DEFCON 3." Like that was when he said it could be Santa Claus. It was the best. Like I have a 4-star general on the phone with the president. He's like, "Could be Santa Claus until we know we go to DEFCON 3." That was a great line.
Yeah, I like it. Like he just had it.
He just had it. So I'm gonna do a quick weather report here, and we'll do Morgan Freeman on the weather. Tonight, rain, mostly before 11 p.m., low around 38. Northwest wind, 11 to 15, becoming north after midnight. Chance of precipitation, 80%, which means it's probably going to rain. New precipitation amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible on top of 2 inches already fallen today. Tomorrow, sunny, with a high near 53. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 42. And that is your Long Island weather. I'm Morgan Freeman. Isn't he great, Morgan Freeman, for the weather?
I'm so glad he does this for free.
Oh, yeah. All these, they love, you know what, Joe? They love coming on the show. They come every week.
He just really likes to work.
He does. I think he does. He is one of the few actors in history that have played more than one president. There were only... Right.
He also played God.
He played God. He played the president in Deep Impact. He played the VP in Olympus Has Fallen, but then he becomes president in the sequel. Bruce Greenwood played the president he played JFK in 13 Days, and in National Treasure they just called him the president. He didn't have a name. Can you name the third actor? There were 2 more that have played more than one president. Can you name those 2 actors?
Harrison Ford didn't do 2, did he?
No, he did the one, Air Force One. So I'm going to tell you who it is. You ready?
Wait. Jack Nicholson.
Did he play more than one president? He was in Mars.
Didn't he play Nixon, or am I misremembering that?
No, he might have. All right, we're going to put that one aside. We're going to confirm that next week for the listeners. Unless somebody calls in and tells me. No, it was James Cromwell was in The Sum of All Fears, and he was also in 13 Days.
Oh, right.
Not 13 Days. The West Wing. He was in The West Wing.
Oh, okay. He just looks like he should just play the president in anything he did.
Yes, James Cromwell looks presidential. And then the other actor is me. I've played Nixon, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Trump.
All at the same time.
And I also get credit for Morgan Freeman.
Well, there you go.
I do Morgan Freeman. So there's 2 more presidents that I do, because I get credit for both of them, even though he's the same guy. I'm just looking at it. A lot of people are listening to our show. This is incredible. I get a lot of updates.
That's right. People are desperate for content.
Hey, you know what? People said to me, they're like, "Are you still doing the show?" Because I can't take the news anymore. I can't watch it. And I said, "We'll be here. If you're here, we're here." So,
or they need their Joe Pontillo / John Santo fix.
Well, when they heard Joe Pontillo was coming on, they're like, "Oh my God, Joe Pontillo's amazing."
The board lit up. We had calls from all around the world. Many of them were people asking why.
All over the world. I even have a call from the International Space Station. They listen to the show also every week. That's why I always publish Houston time, so they're aware what time to come on. They go by Houston time. So we have Governor Tony Soprano about to join us, Joe Pontillo.
Well, that's very exciting.
Isn't it? Governor Soprano, are you there?
How you doing? This is Governor Tony Soprano. Hey, Joe Pontillo, how the frick are you?
I'm doing just swell. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you know, this coronavirus shit, it's frickin' bad.
Yeah, what do you intend to do about it?
Oh, we gotta get people isolated. I see a lot of people walking around together, too close, 6 feet. Either be 6 feet apart or be 6 feet under. End of subject.
I've heard that they have not shut down the Bada Bing or the pork store. Can you confirm?
Well, we unfortunately, let me let Silvio Dante, he's my Secretary of Commerce. He also owns the Bada Bing, so he's better equipped to answer that question.
Oh,
How's it
I'm
going,
glad you
Joe?
recovered.
Yeah, thanks. Very bad. Business, not good. How you doing, Joe Pontillo?
Oh, my God. It's you.
Yep, it's me.
Well, I'm glad you came out of that coma all right.
Yeah, 2 bullets. Not good. Not good. But by the grace of God, I'm still here. But yeah, we had to shut down the Bing. We don't want anybody with the coronavirus. We got enough viruses in there. We don't need another one.
Yeah, I thought you wipe that thing down once a week.
Every day now. I mean, we're going through a Lysol like it's going out of style. You know?
All right. How's everything else going?
Not too bad, but you know those poles. We gotta wash them poles down too, and we don't want nobody to slip.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about the fence for a little bit.
Over there too. They say copper kills the virus. I might make all the poles copper in there, but we'll see. Do you have any other questions for Governor Soprano, Mr. Pontillo?
How is this affecting your relationship with the state of New York?
You know, it's kind of bullshit that you could come into New Jersey for nothing. You got to pay a toll to get back to New York. It's kind of disrespectful.
Well, I think you should call Cuomo about that. Set up a meeting. Set up a sit-down.
And we should have a sit down over there. He's on the freaking TV all the time, flapping his gums. He should be calling me back.
This is an absolute outrage. Is there a petition? Can we get a petition going?
Yeah, we'll get a petition. Everybody signs up and says, quit disrespecting New Jersey.
Can we expect any sort of slowdown in the delivery and inventory of gabagool?
You didn't hear that from me, but anything's possible.
Oh, this is getting out of hand now.
But Satrielli's will be open for curbside pickups. Just call us up in advance, tell us what you want. Your order will be waiting when you get there.
All right. That's the kind of service I've come to expect.
Could you imagine if he really was the governor? Like, effective immediately, all collections and card games are canceled.
Garbage pickups will proceed.
That's what, I got to tell you, that's the one thing that, those guys, who the hell knows what they get. Hopefully they have all the protective equipment, but, I don't even want to touch my garbage. They're touching everybody's. That's a big thing, and they got to keep that moving. So kudos to the sanitation people.
I would think sanitation workers, like most stand-up comedians, probably have some immunity from using that filth.
But we do have Dr. Vinny Bombats. He's here to talk about the coronavirus. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm Dr. Vinny Bombats.
What is your diagnosis, sir?
Oh, it's very bad, Joe. Very bad. I'm telling you, this coronavirus. I thought it was just in Queens. It's everywhere.
Have you been drinking more or less Corona beer since it started?
Oh, a lot more beer, let me tell you. And my alcohol is 2% blood.
Would you say the virus lacks respect?
Oh, a lot of respect. I get no respect, not even from the virus. Even the virus doesn't like me.
Yeah, I thought things were going to start looking up for you.
Oh, you never know, you never know. But I'm telling you, these things are depressing. I'm so depressed lately. Yeah, even the cockroaches are depressed. My wife left them force in the kitchen. They hung themselves.
Oh my!
I'm telling you, I can't take my wife's cooking anymore. I don't think meatloaf should glow in the dark.
Have you been seeing an uptick in patients, or are people steering clear of you?
Oh, a lot of patience, a lot of patience. I'm running out of patience with my patients.
Oh, that's not good. That sounds like they're dying.
A lot of them are dropping dead, I'm telling you, but not a coronavirus. They saw my bill.
Oh gosh.
It's rough out there. I miss him.
So
He was amazing, Dangerfield.
Yeah, I only in the last year or so, I actually started to do some spots at Dangerfield.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah, which was the last club in New York I had never really performed at.
I only performed there once. I was on a show. John Butera got me a spot there. It was Rodney's 90th birthday show. I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And
you say 90th?
I'm sorry?
Did you say 90th birthday show?
Well, it would have been his 90th. It was they were celebrating his birthday or something. 95th or 90th, I forget what it was. Might have been 90. I don't remember, but it was one of his birthdays. And I'll have to look it up for what year he was born, but it was November of 2016, I think. It was Thanksgiving week, and it was so cool to perform there because I grew up watching those Rodney Dangerfield Young Comedian specials. That's one of the reasons I became a comic. And it was cool because I think Bob Nelson, well, I know Bob Nelson was there, but I think he was the only one from that original Young Comedian special series that performed on that particular show for that birthday event. And that was so cool because I grew up watching Bob Nelson and other people. So to be, fast forward 30 something years after I started comedy, to be on that stage and have somebody who was on the original show, that was kind of cool. That was more than just a show. That was a little nostalgia there, too. It was cool. So I got a kick out of it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I've worked with Bob a couple times. He's a pretty nice guy, even though every time I work with him, he clearly doesn't remember that we worked together. And
they meet so many people. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
so many.
The first time I worked with him, I was like, "Hey, when I was a kid, I really loved that movie you were in, Brain Donors." And he was like, "Oh yeah, that movie nobody really watched it, but thank you."
Well, he was in a very fantastic movie, and this is the 30-year anniversary of Kindergarten Cop, and Bob Nelson was the chef in that movie. He was fantastic, and that was that was the best Arnold movie of the second best Arnold movie of that year. Total Recall was in there as well. The fantastic movies.
It brought some much needed serenity to the film. Because it was such a serious thing, It was a cop, but he was in kindergarten. Terrible impression. Sorry.
No, it's just fantastic. I love the part when he parks the car in this high crime neighborhood, and the people are looking at the car, and he has a trench coat on. He turns around, and he goes, "I'm terribly sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is John Kimball," and he cocks the shotgun, and I love my car. That was awesome. I always wanted to be like Schwarzenegger. Like we thought there was a guy in my backyard, trying to break into the house. So I said, "How cool would it be if I went out there with a shotgun and said, 'Excuse me, but you're under arrest, you son of a bitch.'" That would have been perfect. Put the gun right to it. That would have been great.
That'd be one way to get you in the newspaper.
It's like Schwarzenegger impressionist arrest criminal.
Tonight on News 12.
Was it Arnold or John Santo? This criminal didn't know.
Schwarzenegger impression goes too far.
Get under the list, you son of a bitch. It's funny. He says that as a greeting and also as a negative. Like in Predator, when he sees Carl Weathers, he goes, "Dylan, you son of a bitch. And then he goes, "You're under arrest, you son of a bitch." Like he is. It's like he uses it both ways. You know?
Yeah, it has many functions.
It has many different connotations or whatever.
It's a greeting. It's a salutation. It's a threat.
So have you been watching President Trump's briefings each day?
I watched one or two of them just to, get it straight from the horse's mouth, I guess.
Well, he's going to join us. I think he's actually on. Mr. President, are you on? Hello, Joe Pontillo, John Santo. It's great to be with you here on the radio. I love the radio. The radio is the best radio
Are you
show
tweeting right now as you're on the show?
We're tweeting. We got to tweet. The radio is the best show on this time, on this day, on this network. It's the best show. Hands down, the best show.
I agree.
Terrific show. I don't know if you saw, but Idaho is now a country. We made Idaho a country. Idaho.
We lost Idaho? That seems like a pretty damning thing for your presidency.
Well, we lost it in the briefing room. I misspoke. It was a press jumps all over.
Oh, okay.
I hate when they quote what I say. It's so fake news.
Yeah, they really shouldn't do that.
I think I might let John Santo handle the briefings from now on. He's much quicker on his feet. I should hire all stand-up comics, I think, to handle the briefings.
Oh, yes. And fill your cabinet with a comedian.
I think that would be hilarious. No pun intended. It would be very funny.
You're pretty close to that now anyway.
Pretty close. Yeah, I think, well, what comedian would be a good Secretary of Treasury? Somebody who knows money, I guess, would be good.
Comedians who are good with money? Well, that's a tough one.
Actually, you know who should be the Secretary of the Treasury? I think John Santo, because then his autograph would finally be worth something because it's all on the money.
Oh, a low blow, sir.
He's a hack. It's a hack.
Your approval rating just went down.
Did you know he does Barack Obama? Can you believe that? Barack Obama? He does Barack Obama. He does Obama.
So I've heard.
What a mess. What a mess. What a mess. Obama gave me a big mess. It's funny because the stock market was Obama's 2 weeks ago. Now I got it, apparently. I guess it's mine now.
That's right.
They might finally get this thing passed tomorrow. We got to see. There's a lot of money coming in, I think, if the numbers are right. 1,500 a person they're talking about.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You know what? It would be bad. That's like a good month of comedy for me. So.
Yeah. Well, I think comedians should make more. Comedians should get more money.
Yeah, because we're doing so much posting right now that it's lightening the mood of people who could be sad.
And here's the thing. So if the government tells you your business has to close, Trump had to go. He's not on the phone anymore. But so when the airlines shut down after 9/11 by the government had our compensate.
He's rage watching CNN right now.
I can't believe this Rachel Maddow. Who the hell is she?
But they had to pay. So I think comedians should get all the money they would have made for the show, and we should estimate the revenue based on a total sellout crowd.
Right. Which, well, unfortunately, that could take forever because we'll be sitting there trying to do math and be like, I would have made $50 in 2 drinks. Forget it.
Yeah, and we got to factor the drinks in there too. I could come up with an Excel worksheet that people could just plug the numbers into, so it'd make it easy for people.
Yeah, like, sir, I was supposed to get fed at this gig, so that's one meal I'm not eating in the next 2 weeks. How are you going to replace that?
That's true. Mike Keegan did a great post. He goes, my income is way down. I'm down 50 mozzarella sticks from the shows I went and done. I was like, what I wouldn't do for a mozzarella stick and a jalapeno popper. I love
salivating for those comedy club burgers.
You know what? I am a big appetizer guy at the clubs. I love the mozzarella sticks and the jalapeno poppers. And I said mozzarella sticks even though I'm Italian. I didn't say mozzarella because they technically are mozzarella sticks. Unless
I don't even know what mozzarella is. It's
mozzarella.
What is that? It's like incomplete cheese.
I can't say, even though I'm 100% Italian, I love Italian food, I can't say manigut. I got to say manicotti.
I'll say manigut, even though it sounds like some sort of injury or some sort of like,
Yes.
what you would call it, like indigestion problem.
Well, I have to be careful with this line of material because it is a John Butera bit. And, I don't want to, so I'm going to just say that I would call it manicotti. That's all I'm going to say. Now, because he does a very good bit about that. And I'm very sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah, very. There was a guy who stole a joke from me. He was a writer at NBC, and what's no, not at all. If anybody can figure out why these injuries occur, they're going to be very, very wealthy because these pitches are going down left and right, and they got to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I do thank you for coming on. This was an amazing show. You had me cracking up.
Thanks. It was super fun.
And you are a great comic. Love working with
thank
you. Folks, why don't you tell, do you have any shows that are like over the summer or the fall that are likely to be performed that you could plug? Or I know the immediate future is a little up in the air, but is there anything,
I was super booked up through like May, and I'm sure May's a little in question too.
Yeah.
So, after that, I got my regular monthly show at Sipus and Valley Stream.
Sipus and Valley Stream, great room.
Yeah.
I did it once. We were trying to do it again, but I had some issues. But yeah,
you had to throw some people off the side of a building.
Yeah, they stole the jokes, but so hopefully that you'll get that back up soon, and I'd love to come back when you can get that scheduled. And
but in the meantime, people can find me on YouTube. I've got lots of stuff going on there, and you can check out my Amazon special, "Delete Your Account," which is free.
Cool. So if you're looking for something to do, folks, and you're getting tired of what's on your TV, Delete Your Account is what is it? Where can they find that, Joe?
It's on Amazon.
Amazon. There you go. So use
I
those.
don't even think you need a
Amazon
Prime membership. So.
Oh, cool. Well, a lot of people probably have that now. I think everybody's the streaming services are off the charts now. Everybody's home and they're looking for entertainment. So, delete your account.
That's what this is all about.
That's right. We got to try to keep that entertainment flowing through. All right, Joe. Thanks so much for coming on again. And let's see who should sign off. Maybe Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, bring him back.
I want to thank Joe Pontillo, fantastic comedian. Go see him and go check out this Delete Your Account. It's fantastic. And then watch Predator 55 times. Thanks for tuning into the radio. Hasta la vista.